Have you ever had that feeling? You spend hours and hours studying, cramming, highlighting, and then a week later, it's just gone. Poof. It's like it was never there. Well, what if I told you there's a way to change that, forever? We're about to unlock a learning technique that is an absolute game changer.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. That sounds crazy, right? It goes against pretty much everything we've ever been taught about how to get ahead. But what if the secret to learning isn't about more hours, more grind, more pain, but about using the right strategy?
And really, this is what it all boils down to. So many of us are stuck fighting against our own brains, trying to force information in, and we don't even realize it. You know those people who seem to pick things up effortlessly? They're not superhuman. They've just figured out how to work with their mind's natural wiring instead of against it. So let's dig into this hard work lie. We're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly why those traditional study methods, the ones we all learned in school, are often a complete and total waste of your precious time.
I mean, think about your own experience. How many hours have you spent just staring at a page, highlighting every other sentence, rereading your notes until your eyes glaze over? It feels productive, right? But then the test comes and nothing. It's a total blank. It is so frustrating. So what is actually going on?
Well, here's the thing. Your effort isn't the problem. The real enemy, the true villain of this story, actually has a name. And it's a process that's happening inside all of our heads right now. It's called the forgetting curve.
This isn't just some vague idea. It's a scientific model, figured out way back in the 1800s by a psychologist named Hermann Ebbinghaus. He discovered that our brain's default setting is basically to forget stuff. It's a survival mechanism, really, a way to clear out useless information. But when you're trying to learn something new, it's your worst nightmare.
And just look at how brutal this thing is. It is a steep, steep drop. Within a single hour of learning something, a huge chunk of it can just evaporate from your memory. After a day, even more is gone. And by the end of 1 week, you might as well have never even looked at the material. That right there, that is the enemy we're up against.
But here's the good news. Every enemy has a weakness. And the way to beat the forgetting curve isn't to work harder, it's to work smarter. You need to adopt a totally new mindset, a more strategic, more precise approach. Let's call it the samurai mindset.
Now, a samurai would never go into battle unarmed. And you have two incredibly powerful weapons in your arsenal to fight back against forgetting. They're called active recall and spaced repetition. These two ideas used together are the secret to hacking your own memory.
And this really shows the huge difference in approach. The old way, rereading, highlighting, it's so passive. You're just kind of letting the information wash over you, hoping some of it sticks. The samurai way, active recall, is the complete opposite. It's about forcing your brain to do the work, to actually go in and pull that information out.
So this is the absolute core of it all. Active recall is about embracing the challenge. You know that feeling when you're struggling to remember a name or a fact? That strain? That's not you failing. That is literally the feeling of your brain building a stronger connection. Every time you struggle and then successfully retrieve a memory, you're sending a powerful signal to your brain that says, hey, this is important. Don't throw this away. But active recall is only one half of the combo. Spaced repetition is your battle strategy. It's all about timing. The idea is to test yourself, to practice recalling that information right at the moment you're about to forget it. Doing this over and over again at longer and longer intervals literally interrupts the forgetting curve and locks that knowledge into your long-term memory.
Okay, so that's all the theory. Sounds good, right? But how do you actually do this? Well, there's a super simple, incredibly powerful technique that puts this whole samurai mindset into action. It's called the blurting method.
And it's honestly as easy as it sounds. First, just read a chapter or a page of whatever you're learning. Step 2, and this is the most important part, close the book. Put it away, no peeking. Then you just blurt. Grab a blank piece of paper and write down everything you can possibly remember. Key ideas, little details, diagrams, whatever comes to mind. Finally, you open the book back up, check your work, see what you missed, and fill in those gaps. See what's happening here? Every single time you do this, you're performing a perfect rep of active recall. The struggle to remember and then the feedback from checking your work, that process literally forces your brain to build stronger, faster, more reliable neural pathways. It's a workout for your brain.
And the result of this kind of smart, focused training is just, wow. You're not wasting hours on passive reading anymore. You're swapping that for these short, intense, incredibly effective bursts of active recall. This is how you can genuinely learn a new subject or master a skill in a fraction of the time you thought possible. It's not a trick, it's just working with your brain instead of against it. So now you know the secret. You have the mindset and you have the weapon to finally defeat that forgetting curve and learn anything more effectively than you ever have before. The only question left is, what are you going to master first?